Today we are starting a new chapter. It is the electromagnetic induction. In short, we can write it as EMI, where E refers the electro, M for magnetic, and I for induction. We start with some definition. First is the magnetic induction. It is the magnetic field which is produced by the current, electric current. If electric current passes through a conductor, it creates a magnetic field around it, and this is the magnetic induction. It can be explained in terms of the total field lines of the forces which pass through the unit area. While the electromagnetic induction is its reverse, in which an electric field or the EMF is produced, or we can say induced, if the flux changes. That means a changing magnetic flux creates the electric effect. Magnetic flux is the quantity which is defined as the total magnetic field lines of the forces passing through a given area. We have already said that magnetic induction is total field lines per unit area, and if this magnetic induction B, we represent it by vector B, is multiplied by the given area, then we will get the flux, which is phi B. Magnetic induction is a vector quantity, while the magnetic flux is a scalar quantity because it is a dot product of field and the area. So by definition, phi B equal to integral B dot ds. Here B is the magnetic induction and it may be a non-uniform quantity. So for non-uniform quantity, we have to use the method of integral, where we take an elementary area, that is, this is the elementary surface area, and for this surface area, this elementary surface area, we consider that B is uniform, and then we multiply this B with this elementary surface area ds. This will give the elementary flux, say d phi B, which is equal to B dot ds. And then to get the total magnetic flux, we have to integrate, and we get the phi B equal to integral B dot ds. If B is uniform, in that case, this phi B can be written as, because B is uniform, so we can take it out of the integral and remaining is ds, and this ds can be written as the total surface area, so we write it is B dot s. If the coil has n number of turns, then total flux will be the n times of the flux linked with the single turn. Therefore, for coil having the n number of turns, we multiply the flux through a single turn with n. So this gives the total magnetic flux through the coil. As we have already said that magnetic flux is a scalar quantity. If we have to find the unit or the dimensional formula, phi equal to BA, and B, by using the definition F equal to ILB, this is the magnetic force acting on a conductor which is carrying the current I having the length L and placed in the magnetic field B. So B will be F by IL, that is equal to Newton per ampere meter, and Newton we know kilogram meter per second square divided by ampere meter. Meter and meter get cancelled, so it is kilogram per ampere per second square. So by definition, if we put here, it is kilogram per second square per ampere, and this is the area, so it is meter square. That means unit is kilogram meter square per second square per ampere. And by, if we check the dimensional formula, so m, kilogram for m, meter is L, time is second, that is T, and current is ampere, so it is written as A. So this is the dimensional formula of the magnetic flux. And we know this ML2 T minus 2 is the representing that is work or joule in terms of unit. So we can write it is joule per ampere. This is the per ampere. It is joule per ampere. And we know that voltage or potential is V equal to W by Q. And we can also write it in terms of unit. It is joule per, and Q is IT, current into time, that is ampere second. Therefore, joule can be written as volt. This is the volt potential difference as the unit volt into ampere into second. If we replace this joule here, that means it is volt ampere second into per ampere. So ampere and ampere get cancelled and unit is volt second. Unit of magnetic flux is given a single term, that is the Weber, and because flux is BA, field, magnetic field into area, and magnetic field has a unit Tesla, therefore Weber can also be written as Tesla meter square. So these are the different units used for the magnetic flux. Let's take one example. The magnetic flux through a closed surface is zero as per the Gauss law because magnetic monopole does not exist. We know Gauss law for magnetism is integral B dot ds. This is the magnetic flux for a closed surface. This circle refers the closed surface. For closed surface, the flux is zero. This is the Gauss law for the magnetism. And as per the statement, magnetic flux through a closed surface is zero as per the Gauss law because magnetic monopole does not exist. So the statement is a true statement. Because in a closed surface, if a current loop exists, then it will carry both the north and the south pole, which cannot be separated. Therefore, monopole does not exist, and monopole does not exist. In that case, total field lines incoming will be equal to the total field lines going out from the closed surface. Therefore, net flux will be zero. Hence, we can say statement is the true statement.